Alright, we are back. What's up, Steel?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. Finally, the end of the tournament. Go RGN TV, Summer's End tournament, $1,200 on the line between Xile and Mythic. Again, Xile has to win 2 in this best of 3. So, starting us off here, we got Mythic on the terrorist side of things here on Dcash, and it looks like they're going to be going for a walk B burst. Only one player inside of the B bomb site. So here they come, Rush. The only member of the bomb site gets the first frag, but easily traded off by Lex right away. So making their way in is Mythic. We do have a vent flank coming in. No avail for Slemmy. So this looks like it might be a pistol round win for Mythic, and that is very valuable, especially starting on the terrorist side of Cash. Kind of a CT-sided map. And oh, was that a spam from Automatic through the wall? What a one-shot by Mask as well. She's doing work already, so only 2 players up for Mythic. They got 1 player sitting at the main entrance, lurking for the flank, and now it's all up to Lex. He does take down the first one, but he's all alone in the 1 versus 2, getting flanked, and he's still yet to go down. Decides to pull the knife, and it looks like, can they find the bomb? Do they have a kit? Do they have a kit is the question. Yes, they do, and they are going to be able to get the defuse. That was very close. Had they not have a kit, that would have been a Mythic round win, but regardless, they got the bomb down, so still in contention for that momentum.
Yep, I mean, when I was looking at that round, I thought actually Mythic had a great way to actually get into the bomb site and get the bomb plant. I'm surprised they weren't able to hold that post plant situation, but Xile, we saw them early on doing an A push, and basically that's what gave them all the information that they're going B, but I mean, still, they had nobody spotting B, and then Mythic was able to just run in there. I just don't understand how no one from Xile was spotting for that.
Yeah, especially after they got the first 2 picks fairly easily, only trading off one of their players. But they're going to double down, go straight into the B bomb site again. This time, no success. Only able to get 1 frag. And I don't think any rifles were dropped. Maybe Rush had one for Xile, so minimal economic damage done by Mythic. But they did get that bomb down in the first round, so maybe we'll see an AK force. I'm not too sure yet.
They definitely could afford it, so we'll see.
Yeah, and based upon what Mythic has been doing so far, they're going to save up again, so they definitely want the ops in the hand of Lex. And if they, I mean, they could definitely run a double op if they want to next round. They are going to have the bank to do so. But all have bought up pistols, don't want to stick with the Glock, and I like what Exile's doing here. They pushed 1 into the door area, negating any early advantage Mythic was trying to gain. And Mythic just getting picked apart 1 by 1 here as they try to enter the bomb site. And the last 2 choke pointed at this door, and they're going to eat a whole lot of lead coming out. Should be an easy round cleanup here for Xile. But story is, what is Mythic going to do with these ops when they finally do decide to execute on this next gun round? I'm expecting to see some mid control by Mythic, probably boosting Lex up top. What do you think?
Mid control is definitely a good idea. Also, B walks or A walks work as well. But what I'm most concerned about are Molotovs. It looks like Flow6 got 1. So Molotovs are really strong on this map just because you can use them at B, you can use them at A, and there's so many key locations that you can use them on, but it looks like only 1 Molotov was picked up, so they probably will focus on Lex's op and just go for mid control, yeah.
So it looks like they might be going for mid control. We just got Lex boosted up, looking for anybody to peek up top on top of the box, but no avail, nothing going on early. So now Mythic, this could be their default here. They're just kind of spread out across the map. So once they establish that nobody from Xile is pushing, then we will see them execute where they would like to go. So it's been established. No Xile pushes are occurring, and they fall back off of the door. So we're probably going to see a Mythic mid execute here eventually. Looks like they're going to be boosting up top. And very patient play here coming in from Mythic. And for the CT side of Xile, they only have 1 player posted at middle, so I'm wondering if this is going to be Mythic's game plan throughout, just kind of waiting out the early part of the round and then eventually bursting at middle. So here they come, straight out middle, but look at the CT play by Valens. I don't know what he was thinking. He just rushed straight through the smoke trying to catch the vent players off guard, but it did not work, and now B is trying to be taken by Mythic, but Xile having none of it. 3 frags unanswered, but eventually when Mythic tries to take into the bomb site, the bomb has been down, and they're just falling apart. Xile, man, coming out real strong on this map 1, and it's all down to a 1 versus 4 here with Floki, who is very wounded. And what went wrong there, you think?
Well, there's a few things. I mean, Mythic, they took so long to even attempt to take mid control, and we saw that Xile dropped a Molotov onto the boost box at about a minute, and that's why Mythic still didn't have Lex up top on the boxes until basically the very last second. Now that's going to be a huge detriment to Mythic there, losing flow stick after the timer. But yeah, I mean, they didn't get Lex up onto the boxes until about 50 seconds left in the round, and then they did the smokes and the flashes. But then we saw very scrimmy individual plays by Valens and MSQ. MSQ was able to push through, get a kill. Lex actually missed an op shot on her back, and she was able to turn around and get that 180 kill. If Lex was able to get that trade kill, things might have looked different for Mythic, but scrimmy plays prevail.
Yeah, definitely. Once Valens just kind of man-moded through the smoke, I'm not sure what he was trying to go for there, kind of banking on them not looking as they're coming into the vents or something, but making up for it here as Mythic on these eco rounds really likes B, and it hasn't worked out for them so far, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out this time either. Flawless round coming in from Xile. 0 money damage done, and Mythic, man, heavy favorites coming into this match based upon the odds, but Xile doesn't look like they regard that at all.
I actually put a bet on Xile. Even though it's 2 best of 3s, anything can happen.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got Lex and Lex, Marcolodon and everything on Mythic, but for the Xile side, we got Rush, Slemmy, and Automatic, and Mask has been doing work as well. So 3 or 4 massive aimers from Xile, and even though it's kind of puggy from both sides, I really like Xile's lineup, and those odds are heavily skewered. So I feel sorry for some of you who voted for Mythic, but. Let's see. Mythic, there's Lex. Finally gets that op going, takes down Automatic. That's a big frag in Mythic's their best chance so far at claiming 1 round. And look at this from Xile. They have nobody rotating over towards B. So even though Xile lost a player at B, they're banking on Mythic going back towards the A-bomb site. And finally we're seeing a rotate come over for them. And it's Rush in the bomb site. And when is Mythic going to pull the trigger? It's kind of bit them in the ass before as they took so long to take the bomb site, and this might happen again as the rotate is already there, but they get the frag on to Rush and trades occur again, and it's going to be Mythic who comes out on top quite superiorly. And now Valens and Slemmy, last 2 alive and kind of debating whether they're going to go for this or not. They do have the money to do so. Everybody will be able to buy next round, and any damage they could do to Mythic's money at this point, they can easily snatch back that momentum even if they lost this round. So what are they going to do? Still 2 up. Kind of sitting in the CT spawn area. Nobody from Mythic is really overextending yet. So when is Xile? It looks like they're just going to hold the bomb site. Nobody's even in the bomb site, though, for Mythic. So kind of nice, cheeky play here. And the bomb is going to go off. So Mythic is going to take their first round, starting it off the round with the Lex pick, who really started us off with that onto Automatic. So nicely done by Mythic. And for Xile, if they can't contain that B push, as they had the numbers there, they might be in trouble at B.
Yeah, we saw Lex actually winning the aim duel. It was op versus op against Automatic, and Lex was able to win. But what we saw was, I believe it was Valens who pushed into A main on the counter side, and once he cleared that out, Xile started actually shifting over and stacking the B bomb site. Had Mythic waited a few more seconds, or Rush made some big plays by getting 1 or 2 kills, that could have gone into Exile's favor. Mythic needs to kind of... They were fully committed at B. They need to kind of like have 1 person lurking or stopping a push or a flank, or go earlier.
Yeah, having all 5 players there when they make their way into the B-bomb site definitely could be a detriment to them in the future, but they won the round anyways. But this round they have suffered 1 casualty early from Xile, who pushed into the door and with some nice nade work was able to get that frag. So we'll see here, Mythic now down a player, and just what I was talking about, Xile, even though they lost that round, Mythic, if they lose this one, likely going to have to save. They got a little money stack built up, so maybe not, but still not out of this round just yet. Mask pushed up at the door. Oh man, weren't expecting that was Mythic, but Lex manages to get the trade anyway. So Mythic gathering their forces back up here at middle. Are they going to go up middle, or are they going to try their luck over at B? We got Valens in the vents, spotting everything out, and it looks like it is going to be a middle take here from Mythic eventually, whenever they decide to go out, making sure nobody's peeking. And a pretty common theme here from Mythic is they wait so long into the round before they finally execute, so could not work out for them in the end, but down to a 2 versus 3 here. 1 player very wounded, that's Mark the Shark. They need to take down this player in sight right away if they're going to have a chance at winning this round. However, Rush firing right back from the site, goes to the headshot. Ooh, Floki gets 1, but it's traded off by Slemmy. Nicely done, but I like Floki's aim there, but just not enough, and Xile claims that momentum yet again, and is Mythic going to be able to buy? It looks like they will be able to.
They'll definitely be able to buy, but we see Abe is actually quite low in cash. So right there, Exile losing a round and then winning right after. That's actually really good because it kind of like breaks Mythic's momentum. They get this sense of false confidence, but we also see Exile doing these A main pushes and door pushes a lot, and it gives them a lot of map control, and it basically forces Mythic to retake control. Otherwise, they run into a stack. So very good team pushes by Exile coming out here.
Yeah, and I really like that by Exile, because if they push a member in a door and nobody's there for Mythic, that gains so much information for them. And if Mythic wants to contest that, that kind of has to, it forces a member there if they don't want to get flanked. So I really like what Exile's doing here, but they push into A main. And Mask gets one before she is traded off by Lex. And Automatic gets the better of Lex in that op battle. So now that Mythic is down a player, how long do they wait in these scenarios? I mean, what would you do in these scenarios? I mean, because would you wait that long like Mythic does?
I like to kind of use the time to my advantage. I don't like waiting too long, because if you wait too long, then you kind of like pressure yourselves. You have to make sure that you get the bomb planted, etc., etc. You really want to be able to get map control and kind of have an idea of what you want to do, or a game plan. And the longer you wait, the harder it is to execute that.
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of waited until 30 seconds left on the clock every time before they finally execute on the bomb site. So here they go again, 30 seconds left on the clock, and now they finally come out, but, oh, Slemmy, nice shot onto Floki, traded off one of his teammates, that's AGM, but now they're already down to 20 seconds, and now the time is heavily in favor of the counter-terrorists, as all Rush has to do, they know Mythic has to rush in right here and now if they want to have a chance to get the bomb down. And all he's doing is sitting in this corner, but oh, AGM checks it. 10 seconds left, though. If they can drop the bomb, Mythic probably won't not be able to plant. Oh, but they do take down one, but it's not the bomber. And there's the Kobe nade by Slemmy, and that's going to be 7-1 for Exile. And even though Mythic won that one round, their money is shattered at this point.
Yeah, and the bomb plant's basically the best thing that they could have hoped for in that situation. I mean, the 1-for-1 trade was still in Mythic's favor early in the round after MSQ pushed into A main, but again, I mean, too little time. They had to like rush into the bomb site. Exile was able to rotate onto them, and they weren't able to really do anything. I think Mythic needs to kind of start focusing on. They keep getting pushed around at A main and A door, so I think one of the things that they could try doing right now is maybe like a B rush. We saw that kind of work on the pistol round. If they did that with guns, they might have some success with it, or even an A rush and kind of just 5v2 the people that are pushing, the Exile members that are pushing.
Well, what do you think of them just dedicating maybe 2 players at door and 2 players at main early in the round, because Mythic really has shown no signs of rushing early on the gun rounds?
I mean, that's another possibility. For sure they can try that, but just gonna see Exile just losing the A bomb site to an actual eco, so they might get another bomb plant here, which is really good for Mythic's economy situation.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even know how Mythic managed to take their way into A without having any guns, but they did it anyways. But Exile is going to be able to clean it up for free in the end, losing 2 players, but that was one of Mythic's best chances so far.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things, you could post up on it, definitely. I think it's safe to say that every single round, Exile will do a push either on door or A main. So if you just sit there with one person and just like kind of get that kill, I think that's one way to go about it. You could sit 2 people there and try to like push the door and take door control. That's definitely another way. But I think a 4-1 could work, for example, where they just sit Lex on A, wait for that push, he gets the kill. As soon as he gets the kill, 5-10 seconds later, you just push him to B with 4 people and kill Rush, because Rush is going to be there by himself.
Yeah, I like that as well, because I mean, Mythic really has shown no signs of switching anything up yet. Either they go slow and then they finally execute, or on their eco rounds, really that's the only time they really have ever rushed into B so far. So we'll see. I mean, Mythic really needs to switch it up at this point, but for Exile, really, everything has been working out for them so far. And one of the first rounds that Exile has not pushed, and we see Mythic pushed up in the door area as well as A main. So Exile has a great setup here to hold off this A bomb site take when it's eventually going to occur. And we see Exile, nobody has ever pushed B for Exile yet, so really, I mean, if Rush were to do it at this point, it'd be great for them, but neither here nor there, as A is going to be taken at this point. Here comes Mythic, 2 out the door, 3 out of main, and already 4 people inside the A bomb site for Exile, so this hold should happen quite easily. Oh, Matt from above, just raining it down with that FAMAS. Finally, she's traded off, but the trades are going in favor of Exile. Never mind, down to a 2 versus 2. Lex and AGM in the end. able to take this bomb site, and Valen's as well is rushed. Last two up. They got a decent post plant. However, Lex is taken down. It's all on the shoulders of AGM in this 1 versus 2. Takes down the first one from spawn. Where does the other one go? He jumps on top, and Valens gets it again. And Mythic, man, they really need to start getting some rounds. And in that 1 versus 1, that was crucial for AGM to take it. But Valens from above gets it for Xile. 9-1, and this is a dominant performance so far from Xile.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't see how Mythic's gonna be able to fall their way back. I mean, the second round, their second half, they really need to get this pistol round because 9-1 deficit is just really difficult to overcome mentally. But yeah. I like their thought process in that. They know that Exile's not really pushing B, so they just stacked up on A. If there's a push on A, they get the kill and they'll charge the site. That's another thing that could definitely work. But it looks like they're just gonna reset and go back into the default here. They don't have an op on Lex, so they're just gonna have to try. It looks like they're gonna set up with a nice mid control, maybe into the bombs outside A, maybe like a highway to A split.
Yeah, it definitely could work. And unfortunately for Mythic, that last round, it was one of the first times that Xile didn't push. And when Mythic had all their chips towards A, Xile switched it up and did not push at all. So now Mythic reverting to one of their older strats here, going straight out the middle, and they are going to be able to catch Slemmy off guard. He was posted at the sandbags, but unfortunately for him, AGM spotted out early, and AGM pushes into the CT spawn, and oh my god, Exile's setup in the end here is way too strong. Take down 2 other members of Mythic, and now Mythic is trying to wrap into B. They even got 1 player in CT flanking. The trade again, and the bomb site has yet to be taken. Nobody in the bomb site for Xile, but they do have players elsewhere near it, and a flank from Valens. All up to Floki in this 1 versus 3. Not going to happen. Trades from Xile, just like we saw them do last map, or last game, very strong with the trades, and Mythic now down 9 rounds. 10-1 Xile, and I mean, even if they win out, like, the remainder of the rounds, if they lose pistol next half, that's going to be lights out likely.
Yeah, but CT's side of cash is really strong. You can always make a comeback on it, but it doesn't look like they're making the individual plays that they need to play, or even make. Like, we saw Lex missing op shots, we saw AGM unable to make that 1 versus 2. It looks like they're just like running around, just getting picked off 1 at a time here, and like this round you could pretty much write off already. And there's already, like, there's still 1 minute and 30 left on my clock.
And Exile's just making all the right predictions at this point, mollying off early that round, and Mythic tried to go for the boost. Didn't work out for them, and now they're already down 3 players in this 2 versus 5. And you're right, we haven't seen any of the individual plays that we usually see from, like, Lex or Mark Ladon or something like that from Mythic, and a flawless gun round for Xile. And man, this is looking like an easy 14-1 at this point.
Especially if we're going to see another eco coming out by Mythic. I mean, one of the things they could try is that A push again. I mean, that would have worked had Xile done a push into them. Or a B rush. That could work if Rush is playing their solo and we don't see automatic around there. But it looks like Mythic again is going to opt in for an eco, so it probably means that they're going to save up for an op and try to work off of Lex's lead.
And man, I really don't like this. Just like the hesitancy of the buys by Mythic in the early there. They weren't quite sure what they wanted to do. Didn't look like a team huddle at all. So I'm thinking they're kind of mentally broken at this point. The Xile defense seems impregnable at this point, and automatic pushing up lower, taking down 2 of the members, and now Mythic trying to salvage what they can, pouring out of the door. No frags, and 2 back-to-back flawless rounds for Xile. Mythic, you got to do something at this point. I mean, a gun round B rush. They haven't tried that yet, and you're right. Only 1 player has been sitting there a lot of the time for Xile.
And that round, automatic actually pushing up with his op and getting 2 really easy kills. We see him maxed out on money. Like, that's just insane, the amount of money they can have. And it looks like all the CTs are buying incendiaries, with the exception of MSQ, so it's really difficult for terrorist teams to actually execute anything if basically everyone on CT side has a Molotov to use.
Yeah, that's what you lose if you go down so many rounds. When you let the CTs pile up that much money on a CT-sided map, really hard to get any sort of rounds, or especially a comeback in there. But now, Xile, they haven't really pushed A this round, and Mythic has been waiting for it. Oh, Lex does find 1. I believe that was through the smoke onto Mask, as she has been liking to push up and jump on top.
They should do these smokes and take it back to B right now. I'm telling you, please take the bomb back to B.
I don't think they're going to do it. They're going to be rushing straight through the smoke. And here they come. We got one member in the bomb pit. It's automatic. They did not heed the advice, and so far they're paying for it, but fighting right back is Mythic. They do have the man advantage so far. However, Slemmy gets the nade kill onto Abe, and Slemmy and Rush. The last two alive here. It's 2 versus 2. Mythic, if they can win this 12-3, they might have a chance, but it doesn't look like it so far. Oh, and there it is. Lex onto Rush, and it leaves Slemmy in this 1 versus 2. Looking for the one lower, and Lex gets the second one as well. So nicely done by Mythic there. And they just rushed through the smoke, and it worked out for them after Lex got that initial pick. And the rotate was just a little slow for Xile. Perhaps they thought that Mythic was going to go back to B.
Well, I think a large part, like, they had 3 players on the bomb site, but with all the smokes going down, I think it was Slemmy that was unable to actually help his team. And we saw Valen's actually almost getting a nice 2K, just lining up the terrace, but unable to make the bullets connect. But still, Xile, they were maxed out in cash, so they still have 5 incendiaries. And it looks like Mythic's going to try to take fast mid control. Lex is running through fire at the moment, and it looks like they're just going to get annihilated.
Destroyed, trying to run through Molly and through the smoke. I mean, it worked out for them last round, and nothing worked out for them before, so hell, why not try it again? But this time, doesn't work the second time. So, down to another 2 versus a whole bunch of CTs. And Mark takes down Valence. So, Mythic, I mean, at this point, damage has definitely been done already by Xile, and what we need to see for Mythic to win this is just an absolute CT hold. After they win Pistol, they just need to establish, like, absolute dominance if they're going to just run this all the way back. But, oh, Slemmy takes down the last 2, and we're seeing a 13-2 victory on this first half for Xile, and who were the heavy underdog. So, keep it locked for the second half here at Go RGN TV. Alright, I am back. So, Xile up 13-2. Coming in to this terrorist side, and Mythic, man. I mean, if they lose this pistol round, they're obviously out of it. So, I mean, Steel, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, they need to get the pistol round, that's for sure. I mean, if Mythic doesn't get the pistol round here, you can already just, like, start thinking about what's going to happen on map 2. Because Cash is a map where, like, if the terrorists build an economy, and they're able to get Molotovs and do, like, full molly takes and retain map control, like, they're just gonna win. If Mythic's on pistols, I mean, there's only so much that they can do with these pistols on CT side.
Yeah, all boils down to this. So Xile looking like they're going to go for that strong arm A take. Never mind, they're going to be boosting some players up. So not as fast as I would have expected them to do, but they're going to be going for the mid boost. Who is playing there for the CT side? Looks like Mythic is just going to be forfeiting middle here and just kind of falling back into an A shell. They have 2 players by CT and 2 players inside the A bomb site. So really the map is at Xile's disposal at this point. Really go wherever they want to, and it looks like Mythic is biting, and they're rotating back towards B when A site is being taken here. Here comes Xile making their way into the bomb site. Oh man, this is horrible for Mythic as they take the bomb. without many trades going for Mythic's favor. And man, already down to a 3 versus 2. The bomb has been planted, and Mythic's hope now rely on the shoulders of Markolodon as his teammate Floki is taken down. And if Mark can't clutch this, this is going to be over. Man, Xile looking like it's going to be a 16-2. However, Mythic, if they go for the full CZ buy, whatever pistols they're comfortable with, this is now, I mean, if last round was their only chance, this is their definite last chance.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait a few seconds to see what they do. They are going to do armor full buy. They're going to have to take a risk here. They have to take a risk. If they don't take a risk, they're going to lose. They can't play default right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree entirely. I mean, if you play default setup, even with CZs and everything, superior weaponry for the terrorist side, probably going to get the better of those. So they are going to go for an A stack, and they only have one player sitting at B. One player at B for both sides, actually. So if Xile rushes into this, I like Mythic. However, if Xile kind of takes things slowly and just kind of feels it out when they make their way into the bomb site, it could go in Exile's favor. So they're just kind of feeling it out. Nobody's peeking for the CT side of Mythic, and I really like this. They're not giving Xile any knowledge that they're stacking the bomb site. So this could work out for them here, and Xile rotating one of their players back over. Could try to fake a little bit towards B or try to take up middle. Again, Mythic has given them no information upon what's going on here, and now middle is being taken by Xile as well, so they're going to go ahead and pinch onto the bomb site. However, we still see a stack for Mythic, and a whole lot of CZs ready to start spraying. Here they come, pouring into the bomb site. Mythic gets 3, and Automatic only gets 1 for the side of Xile, so it's looking like Mythic might have a chance in this map if they can keep it going. Oh my god, the CZ's reigning supreme so far, and since Mythic did not give them any information, Xile thought A was the bomb site to go to and paid for it, so Mythic has a glimmer of hope.
And that was the best thing that they could have hoped for, stacking A and having Xile just walks right into the trap. Now, a little bit of a misplay by Xile there. They didn't really have any map control, they didn't do any scouting at all, they kind of just like ran in with everyone. And with Mythic stack, they had so many angles that Xile had to clear, and Mythic just had them completely outplayed from the start.
Yeah, and I mean, had Mythic been trying to peek the bomb site and everything, would have been an entirely different round, but they sat there and just gave Xile a whole lot to think about. So, for Xile now, Mythic, they gave Mythic a chance, so we do have a map on our hands here now. If Mythic can get that shutout going, perhaps they're, I mean, again, kind of puggy side on both, for both teams. So maybe they can shut him out just like Xile did. But this round, AGM having a field day here at middle, takes out 2 unanswered and gets that triple kill as well. And Xile making their way into the A-bomb site. If they could take down this the only A player and get that bomb down, it'd be a small victory for them. But right back at him, flawless round from Mythic. And I'm not sure if Exile's going to be able to buy here. Looks like they're going to have to save one more. But I really didn't like that eco round from them.
Yeah, it seemed like they were just like trying to get it over with, maybe like a quick mid to B and then stake the bomb A or something like that. But we should just see them save up. They have a 10-round buffer already, just such a big lead that they can save up, get ops, get 2 or 3 Molotovs on each player, or sorry, on total. So they can do like 2 Molotovs B if they do a B take, 2 Molotovs A if they do an A take. Looks like they're gonna try to like do another A fake and then try to like burst B and get the bomb plant B, but maybe I'm wrong?
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're seeing here. We see 2 of the Xile players. They're going to boost up here. But look at this. Only 1 player in the bomb site for Mythic of B. So if they get in here, Floki's going to have to do work from vents. He gets very wounded, though. If they could take him down right here, and they do, Markolodon is there as well to get some trade inside of B. So I really thought Xile had a good chance there. They can still take down this B player and get the bomb down. They don't know what we know of, however. Oh, and Markolodon holding firm inside the B bomb site, takes down Slemmy as well as Valens. And little or no chance that that bomb is going to be planted here. As Automatic is the last man alive, and I like that eco round a lot more than the last one they tried. So this 2-man elsewhere, and then 3-man with the bomb taking the sites. It looks like that's Exile's eco rounds, but finally we see the first gun round, and they bought up quite a bit, so I'm not sure if we're going to see an op from them.
Yeah, and I really like what the Xile tried to do there. They did 2 people smoking over the A-bomb site. Then that pulled Mythic's mid-rotator over the A-bomb site. Xile was able to boost up over mid, and that was like a great opening. I think if Exile had maybe two people going over mid box and rushing into the vents, they might have had more success than just trying to grind out B from the lobby with pistols.
And I love what I see from Mythic so far. On their first round, they established mid control heavily, stacking 3 players there right away. But it doesn't work out for them. Never mind. It does, as Automatic comes out middle, takes down 1 Mythic player, but Mythic retains control of middle, getting 2 of their own. So Xile, now they know that Mythic is willing to just stack a whole bunch of people at middle. So now, in this 3 versus 4, we see Xile trying to make their way towards B. Now they have 1 player at A and 2 other players at B, but this Vents player for Mythic is really going to make it hard for Xile to take the bomb site, because once... Oh my god, he almost goes down. His feet get shot down to 3. So definitely walking on 1 leg is Floki, but since he was there, it really made it so hard for Xile to take the bomb site, but he does get taken down, but traded quickly by Mark. So 2 versus 3 and 30 seconds left on the clock, so Xile either pull the trigger or start running back to A right here and now. And it looks like they're going to be trying that. The CT player of Mythic, I mean, they would have had a nice 2 versus 1 if they could have made their way into the site early, but they're going to go back to B and find another 2 versus 1. However, one of the CT players is going to be quick to rotate. They're running out of time. If you're going to go for it right now. Oh, Mark holding the B bomb site like a beast so far. Gets the last 2. And man, if Mark keeps that up at B, Xile is going to have a very tough time taking anywhere but A.
Yeah, and one of the things I was thinking of when, like, my team, like iBot Power, we had a lot of troubles closing out games. Like, we'd always have like 14-8 or 14-7, you know, we'd have this massive lead, but we'd never be able to close out. And what I think would be really good is to do like some sort of scrimmy play, because Mythic doesn't have rounds that they can gamble with. They're not going to play any sort of like gambles or anything like that. They're going to play default, they're going to play safe, they're not going to take any risks. So if Xile were to like just do like a group up in a 3-2 split fast or like a 4-1 walk, that might be able to get them around. They can't keep doing this default CS against Mythic. Mythic's not going to make mistakes at this point.
Yeah, especially just playing straight up default setups and everything. They don't want to make those mistakes if they don't have the rounds to play with, like you said, that Xile does. And Xile coming in for an A rush. Not working out for them. Lex holding strong inside the bomb site. Still 2 up, though, for Xile. Oh, man. They would have had a chance in the end there, but the spray goes in the favor of Mythic. And yeah, I really like what you said. Because Xile, they have a lot of rounds just to go crazy gambits or everything. They don't have to open up with defaults. They don't have to go, I mean, with what works for them 100% of the time when they're like scrimming or pugging or whatever. But just maybe try B or A rush, some sort of fast split, do something different early. Throw something else at Mythic that they have to worry about. So, Xile here. Looks like they're opening up very slowly yet again towards B. Not really doing anything early, as they get smoked out of B and they fall back towards middle and bring the bomb over towards A, as they do have control of the door. So Xile going super slowly again, and they're kind of just going for these, like, try to bait them out with smokes and flashes and everything and then go to the other bomb site, but it hasn't been working out for them so far. So nothing fast being thrown from Xile, at least early in this second half, which is when I would have liked to see it. But they're going, I mean, they're trying to take B very passively here. They only have 1 or 2 players trying to take into B, and not at the same time at all. So Valens goes down without any trade attempt at all. And Xile, a couple of their members are very wounded when they finally try to take towards A, and it's going to be a 3 versus 2 at A here. So if they can take in right here and now, they might have a decent shot. Mask goes down in the door to a molly. So Xile, things are not looking good for them this round in Mythic. Man, their CT side is looking stronger and stronger, but I think it's just because Exile's really not trying anything different at this point. Just go fast somewhere and not on an eco round. I'd really like to see them go for that.
Yeah, I really think, especially with Mythics, I think half the CT rounds, Mythic has been playing heavy mid defense, or at least sending people through middle to go to A first really early. I think if Xile focused on sending 3 people to the door to walk it, and 2 people in main who'd throw smokes and flashes for them to come out, I think that would be a really strong scrimmy setup where Exile's able to get out of the door and just plow into the site.
Yeah, especially if it's one of the rounds like this that Mythic is playing so heavily towards middle. could work out for them early, but again, just spreading out and working things again slowly. So they like to try to get control of things and then eventually work their setup. But if you do this every single round, Mythic doesn't have a lot to worry about. They know you're going to take it slowly, and their default setups are going to be very effective, which has been going on so far. So now Xile has a member boosted up top, and there, oh my god, look at that. Xile gets 2 frags here at middle, and they take down the Vents player. So now this is Exile's round to lose, and Mythic, that is such a tough round for them, and they've been holding so strong, and now they lose 3 players early, and it's up to Lex and Marco Ludon to fight right back, and that they do so far, getting 1 frag apiece. So where does Xile go from here? Looks like Mythic's going to be stacking towards the B-bomb site, which is being taken. Valens pushes through the smoke, and that is horrible for Xile, bringing it down to a 2-on-2. And Mythic, if they win this round, that's a huge rallying round. As in that 2 versus 5, your 2 teammates bring it back for you after making a couple of mistakes. Really pumps up and everything. So, Automatic can be the dream crusher in this scenario. In this 1 versus 2, he's going to fake plant. Is Lex going to peek? Yes, he does. 17 seconds. Did he see Mark through the smoke, though? I think he did. Mark pushing up. Oh, and Automatic wins it. Brings it back for his team in the 1 versus 2. And that is so horrible for Mythic. Almost had it in the 2 versus 5, but in the end, just swept out from under their feet.
That's insane. With that massive lead, like there's had to be a communication issue or Valen's like disconnected from Mumble or something, because not only did they have like a player advantage, but Lex got a kill at A, and then I forget who the other person was. Was it Abe got in, or Mark got a kill at middle? Both the CT players were spotted. Valens is still like kind of walking around looking for a player in the B bomb site, then walks through CT smoke instead of just maintaining map control when you have the player advantage. I mean, if you just locked down the site and just waited for his teammates to come, they would have won that round 100%. So, it's insane.
Kind of a throw, but thank God for Xile that Automatic was able to pick up that 1 versus 2 with some very smart play. So now Xile only needs 1 round and has Mythic give